two Sutra stories of You Reap What You Sow. In the Sutra of 100 Karma Stories, the Buddha teaches us all the positive and negative karma will not ripen on the four elements of earth, water, fire and wind, but will only ripen on our 5 aggregates, 12 bases and 18 elements. Therefore, all the karmic results that we experience in our body, mind and environment are from the positive and negative karma that we have created in the past, but not imposed by any external factors such as gods, authority or natural forces. Therefore, everything we do now will also ripen its karmic fruit in this life, the next life, or a distant future life on our body, mind and environment. You reap what you sow. Regarding this, 2 stories that happened to King Prasenajit can give us much inspiration. This is a Sutra story. In the time of the Buddha, King Prasenajit had a daughter named Vajira, who was smart and elegant, cherished by her parents and loved by the people in the palace. One day the king said to the princess, "You are very fortunate. Because of me, people in the palace love and respect you." Princess Vajira answered, "I have earned my merits from my own karma, not your power." The king was very angry when he heard this and said loudly, "Let's check out how powerful your karma is." Then he ordered his retinue to find the poorest beggar and marry Vajira to him. King Prasenajit mocked to Vajira, "Since you earn your merits from your own karma, don't rely on me anymore. From now on, go live independently. Time will tell the truth." On hearing this, Vajira still persisted on her beliefs and left the palace with the beggar without hesitation. People in the past didn't complain about their fathers. Even when the princess married a beggar, she still thought it was fine. This is also due to causality. Along the way, Vajira asked her husband, "Are your parents still alive?" He replied, "My parents were once the richest elders in Shravasti, but they have passed away, leaving me alone to beg for a living." Vajira asked again, "Do you still remember their house?" "The house is all ruined and barren, but I remember the address." Then the couple went to the old house together. Surprisingly, wherever they went, underground treasures emerged naturally. With these treasures, they hired workers to build a house in less than a month. One day, King Prasenajit thought of Vajira and asked his retinue, "How is the princess doing now?" His minister replied, "To be honest, Your Majesty, the princess is living no worse than you." At that time, Vajira sent her husband to invite the king to their house. When the king saw the grandeur of his daughter's house, he was amazed and went to ask the Buddha, "What wholesome karma did my daughter create in her past lives to be born to the royal family and that her body illuminate radiantly?" The Buddha shared the past causes and conditions. 91 kalpas ago, during the time of Buddha Vipassana, after the Buddha's nirvana, King Banduma built a stupa decorated with 7 jewels to honor his relics. Upon seeing it, the queen made her offering by placing her crown jewels on top of the Buddha statue and also hung the wish-fulfilling gem from the crown on the neck of the stupa. Meanwhile, she made her vows. May my body emanate golden light in future lives. May I be respected and dignified and never fall into the 3 lower realms or the 8 unfree states. The queen was Princess Vajira in one of her previous lives. Moreover, during the time of Kasyapa Buddha, a woman wished to offer food to the Buddha in Sangha, but was hindered by her husband. She kindly persuaded him, "Since I have already invited Buddha and his Sangha here, please let me fulfill my wish." And he accepted her advice. This woman was also Vajira's past life, and the husband is the beggar's past life. Because he tried to stop her from making offerings, he suffered the karmic fruition of poverty in many lifetimes. Since he eventually listened to his wife's advice, he became wealthy with her help, but when leaving her, he became poor again. As soon as he met his wife in the previous life, he immediately became wealthy. If Vajira's happiness came from King Prasenajit, she would become poor after being expelled by him. However, since her happiness was a result of her wholesome karma, King Prasenajit's power couldn't eradicate the merits she had accumulated or cause her to suffer from poverty. One day, before going to bed, King Prasenajit overheard 2 ministers arguing. One of them said, "I owe my entire livelihood to the king." The other person disagreed. "No, it's our own karma that determines our destiny, not the king." The king thought to himself, "The one who said, 'I owe my entire livelihood to the king,' should be rewarded." So he sent a messenger to the queen. "I will send someone to you later and you can reward him generously." Then he summoned the person who said he owed his livelihood to him and instructed him to bring him a fine wine to the queen. Unexpectedly, as soon as he stepped out of the door, he had a nosebleed and couldn't move on. So he asked the other minister, who believed in karma, to go in his place. As a result, the queen generously rewarded him with money, clothes, and jewelry. The messenger returned to the king. Finding that the person who got rewarded was not the person he sent, the king was surprised and summoned the one who believed in relying on him and asked, "I ordered you to go. Why didn't you go?" The minister told the truth. Upon hearing this, the king sighed. Buddha's words are true. What one gets are the results of one's own karma and can't be controlled by others. It's interesting that he wanted to reward the person who believed in relying on the king, but in the end, that person didn't receive anything. King Prasenajit wanted to reward the former, but to his surprise, the former, who hadn't cultivated the cause for such blessing, couldn't get it. Whereas the other one, who the king didn't want to reward, unexpectedly got rewarded due to his positive karma. Therefore, happiness and suffering are all determined by one's own karma, not by an almighty Lord.